Move this up a little bit. So the idea with this lesson is, yes, you learn how to write capital letters, yeah, and learn how and when to use the capital letters. Yeah, and you will also learn, as I have said, about the proper nouns in English. And another word for capital letters, by the way, yeah, as just so as some information here right now, but I will come back to that, is uppercase. Yeah, uppercase is another expression for capital letters. Well, and the small letters, how do we call the small letters? The small letters are the lowercase letters. That's how we call the smaller letters. Mm, moving that sideways a little bit. Yeah. Well, quick examples here. Yeah, maybe not so explanatory, but here, when we type your full name, yeah, when you type your name, the first letters of your name, they are written in capital letters, in the uppercase, in the bigger letters. Yeah. Um, and when you type your birth date, yeah, countries, months, they start with the uppercase. Yeah, that's another example of that. Um, and also the birthplace. Yeah, when we talk about the birthplace, yeah, the place where you were born, yeah, we also use capital letters for that. Now, again, what's an uppercase letter? Uppercase letter is a capital. Yeah. Now, what's a lowercase? Lowercase is a small letter. A small letter is an uppercase. And what is a proper noun, as I was saying? Well, a proper noun is a person, a place, or a thing with a specific name. That is what a proper noun is. Now, what is a common noun? A common noun is a general person, a general place, a general thing, or a general idea. That is what a proper noun is. And a month. What is a month? A month is one of 12 periods in a year. Yeah, for instance, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, these are all um, months of the year. Yeah. Let me move this one out here. Fantastic. May, yes, very good. Well, other words, yeah, here I have for you is tracing. What is trace? Trace is to copy, yeah, or to uh, uh, to draw over top of a model. Now, something difficult. What is something difficult? Something difficult is something that isn't easy. And we also have acronym. A lot of acronyms have capital letters. What is an acronym? Acronym is a short form where letters represent words like BTW, by the way. Yeah. FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Yeah, so we have big letters, yeah, the abbreviation, a short form of letters that represent a word. This is an acronym. And we also have a nationality, yeah, the country where a person is from, where the person belongs to. Nationality um, is um, the country where the person comes from. Yeah, so there's the United States of America, there's Canada, there is Australia, there is Italy, France, Germany. Yeah, they are all countries. Yeah, so of course we can also use the nationality and say like, oh, German, Italian, Brazilian, French. Yeah, all of these are nationalities, and nationalities in English, we start them with capital letters, the uppercase, the big letter. Yeah. Well, and another one is title. Yeah, the name of a book. the name of a movie, yeah, they do have capital letter. Yeah, the title of a book, the title of a movie, they do start with capital letter. Now, well, don't forget to share this live with other people because it's some good, free, interesting, and important expressions that people can use in English. And, well, a free lesson for y'all. So I'd recommend you share that for as many people as you can so they enjoy that. Now, here, um, capital letters again are big letters. Yeah. They are called capital letters, capital, or uppercase letters. Yeah. We use capital letter at the beginning of every sentence. So if I say, like, um, today is a beautiful day, the word today will have the T in caps, in capital letter. We also have, go pay. Yeah. We have, we use capital letter as well at the beginning of a proper noun. Yeah. For instance, what is a proper noun? Like I said, the name of a person. Yeah. So my name is Alan. Alan Byte. So the beginning of my name, Alan, will have a capital letter in letter A, the first letter of my name. We also use that for a place. Yeah. Well, like I said, Canada. Canada is a place. So I use capital letter for that. Yeah. For Canada, in the first letter, letter C, we'll have a capital letter. Another one is for a thing. What is a thing? Yeah. Well, that could be a harder one, but for instance, a day of the week. Okay, better. So for a day of the week, I use capital letter for the first letter, yeah, of that word. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, the first letter has capital letter. We use a capital I for the first person singular pronoun. So, regardless of the position of this letter I, you will always be in caps. You will always be in capital letter in the uppercase. If I say, I live in New York, I is capital letter. If I say, my brother and I like to eat apple. Yeah. My brother and I is not in the beginning of the sentence. However, you will take I in caps, in capital letter, in the uppercase, not the small letter, but in the big letter. Yeah, the capital letter. And we also use capital letters for first and important words in titles. Yeah, for example, great expectations. So G has a capital letter, and E in expectations also has a capital letter. So these are some examples where we could use capital letter in English. Wow. And here, lowercase, when, what are lowercase letters? Lowercase letters are small letters. Yeah, that's what lowercase letters are. They are the small letters. For instance, we use a lowercase letter at the beginning of a noun, of a common noun, unless it is the first word in a sentence. Like I said, for that rule, that's why I talked about the uppercase letters first and not afterwards. Yeah, if I use the words like dog, pizza, house, movie, chair, table, desk, they are all things, all objects, they are all common nouns, and they are not the first words of a sentence. Yeah. My table is blue. For instance, my table isn't blue, but my table is blue. So table is the first letter, all the letters of the word table are lowercase letters. And we also use a lowercase letter for unimportant words in a title, such as articles, prepositions, and even conjunctions, unless again it's the first word of the title. Yeah, so if I use articles like I said, prepositions, the, a, and, of, and, at, yeah, all these unimportant words of a title, yeah, they don't need to be in caps. So if you're writing a title for your TikTok video, for a YouTube channel, for whatever that is, yeah, the first letter is good to have that in caps. Yeah, but the first letter of proper nouns, yeah, the names of cities, countries, people. But when it comes to unimportant words, articles, prepositions, conjunctions, we don't need that. Yeah. Now, what's all caps? Well, machines read capital letters easily, but most people don't. So don't type, yeah, or print in all capital letters unless a form asks for all caps, okay? Because um, you should use all caps to write an address or on an envelope or something like that. Yeah, if you are sending a mail to someone at the post office, yes, it is true. But in other cases, no, come on, man. Just keep the first letter caps in caps, yeah, and the other letters in lower case. That should be enough. Yeah. Um, Now here, what are some examples of uses of capital letters? We use a capital letter, like I said, at the beginning of a proper noun anywhere in a sentence. Yeah, so if I use the word New York is a proper noun. So I would say New York is a big city. New York is a bustling city. Yeah, so there's New York, new and York, both words, they have capital letter, New York. Now, even if I use New York at the end of the sentence, the words New York will be in capital letter. Yeah, they will be written with the first letters as bigger letters. I am from New York. Big letters, capital letters. I live in New York now. Yeah. So if it's a big letter, if it's a middle, if the letter is in the word is in the beginning, the middle, or the end, we have to use capital letters with a proper noun anywhere in the sentence. Yeah. Examples of proper nouns, like I said, it could be people. For example, Peter Parker. Peter Parker, yeah, is a proper noun. Pets names. I have a dog who is called Thor. Yeah, Thor will have the first letter T, in caps, in capital letter. Um, Names of companies or brand names: Apple, Samsung, Nike, Adidas. Yeah. All these brand names, they start their first letter with capital letter. Yeah, with the uppercase letter. Cities and towns as well, like Ottawa, Montreal, Florida, um, California, San Francisco, San Diego. Yeah, all these places, Washington, yeah, they have the first letter with a capital letter, and not just the cities and towns, but also the countries. Yeah, the United States of America, yeah, Canada, Italy, France, Brazil, Germany, India, in all these countries, the first letter is a. The first letter is a capital letter. And also in English, with languages, yeah, we keep the first letter as a capital letter. Yeah, so we would say, um, I speak English. English will always have a big letter in the first letter, will always be a capital letter in the beginning. Yeah. I speak a little bit of Spanish. Yeah, so the S in Spanish must be in capital letter, must be in uppercase. Another one is I also study French. Uh, I also study French, Italy, Chinese, and Japanese. Yeah. So when we talk about or in German, so when we talk about languages, all of these languages, they have the first letter starting with capital letters. Yeah. Titles, like I said, titles of movies or series, like The Wizard of Oz, the capital letter, Wizard, capital letter, the capital letter, because it's the first letter of the word. But of is an unimportant word. It's not that important. So in that case, yeah, we don't need to have of in capital letter. We don't need that. Names of planets, yeah, Earth, Saturn, Mars, yeah, all these planets, they start their names with capital letters, with uppercase letters, the big letters. Um, Names of bodies of water, yeah, like the the Atlantic Ocean, yeah, or the Pacific Ocean. All of these letters, they start, yeah, with a capital letter, with the big letter. Again, articles like articles, prepositions like the, a, and, of, they are all unimportant words. Being unimportant words, you don't need to have them in capital letters. So if I say like, oh, the Pacific Ocean, the doesn't need to start with capital letter because it's an unimportant word unless the is in the beginning of the sentence. Because if the isn't in the beginning of the sentence, it doesn't start with a capital letter. Yeah, so it's say the in the lowercase and then Pacific Ocean, P in Pacific, in capital letter in uppercase, ocean, O in ocean will be in caps as well. Some names of mountains as well, like Mount Fuji. Yeah. Mount M of Mount goes in caps, and F in Fiji, yeah, it goes also in caps, in capital letter, in uppercase, the big letter. Like I said, days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all of these days, they start the words start with the first letter in caps, in capital letter. Yeah. Another one is months. Months in English also always go in capital letters. Yeah, in uppercase letters, in big letters. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. All of these months, they start their first letter in English. And as I mentioned here before in the beginning of this lesson, acronyms also take the big letters. Yeah. FBI, all the three letters, Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, all of the letters are big letters. I believe most of you, or all of you, or at least most of you, are familiar with NASA. NASA, yeah, is all in caps. NASA, NASA, all in caps. Another one, abbreviations that people send each other on WhatsApp. Yeah. BRB. Yeah. Be right back. Yeah. Like I'll come back soon. I'll come back in a few minutes, a few seconds, perhaps. Yeah. So BRB should be in caps, in capital letters. Of course, informally, like I said, WhatsApp, perhaps, yeah, people might not use capital letters, but the ideal, yeah, the grammatically correct way is using them in the uppercase with the big letters. BTW, by the way, yeah, they all in caps. Yeah. Well, holidays. Holidays, we also have the holidays in caps. St. Patrick's Day, S in Saint, capital letter, big letter. Patrick's, P in Patrick, capital letter, big letter. Day, the word day in caps because it's a holiday. Christmas, New Year's Eve, yeah, Thanksgiving, yeah, all of these holidays, they take their first letter in big letter, in caps, in capital letter. And religions, yeah, Islam, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, yeah, all of these religions, they start their words with the first letter in caps, in the uppercase, big letter. Of course, some exceptions here. Yeah, when referring to people by name, common nouns, yeah, can become proper nouns. Yeah, and in these cases, I would write these words in capital letters. For instance, my mother is kind. Mother is lowercase m. But if I say mother is kind, using that as a proper noun, and also because it's in the beginning of the sentence, this word is this word is in capital letter. Mother is has the big M. Yeah. But another one. I miss my grandma. I miss my grandmother. Yeah. Grandma is a common noun. However, if we put grammar as we refer to the word grandma by name, oh, I don't think grandma is coming today. Yeah. I'm not saying my grandma as a common noun. I'm addressing my grandma as a person, as the name of my grandma. So I would say, I don't think grandma is coming today. This grandma is written in the uppercase with the big letter, not the small g, the big G. Yeah. And another example. Oh, where is the president? Where is the president? The president is in lowercase p, lower p. Yeah. If I say, oh, I met President Trump. If I say, I met President Trump, I'm addressing the person by their name. So P will be a big letter, president with a big P. Yeah. Well, I hope that's making sense so far. Yeah. I'm sharing some examples of ideas, things, ways you can do to use capital letters more effectively in English. Yeah. Now, again, what are capital letters? Capital letters are the big letters. Yeah. We have the small letters A, B, C, D, E. Capital letters, the big ones A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. Now, we use capital letters again at the beginning of a title and for important words in titles. Yeah. Important words include nouns, pronouns, verbs, phrasal verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Yeah. Some examples: titles, movie, um, Planet of the Apes. Yeah. Planet of the Apes. So planet has a capital letter. Yeah. The P is a big P, planet. Of the, no capital letter. Yeah, because they are more unimportant words. It's an article, it's a preposition. We don't need to put them in caps. But then apes goes in the letter A, stays in the uppercase with the big letter. Yeah, so planet of the apes. Yeah. Um, well, articles, books, songs, albums. Like I said, if you are posting a video on TikTok, on YouTube, on a platform, yeah, it's good to write the longer words, basically, maybe to make your life easier to understand that. The longer words, you put them with the first letter in caps. Yeah, and the other letters, you keep them in lowercase, in the small letters. Yeah. Of course, we do have some exceptions, like some style guides. Yeah, they use different rules for capitalizing titles, and it's possible if people want to go all caps, maybe to catch more attention, they would go for Planet of the Apes, everything in caps. Yeah, but that's calling a lot of attention. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. Yeah, for all of the time. But yes. And we can put capitals for all first letters. Yeah, in everything, regardless of the fact that this letter is important or unimportant. Or we can also do the capitalization or capitalization for some people of infinitives. Yeah. How? To teach. So to teach, we can keep that in caps. A lowercase, great math class. Yeah, in caps as well. Yeah. Well, feel free. Yeah, if you want to comment, yeah, if you want to participate with me a little bit, you can try to write, yeah, the names of uh, titles of your favorite movie, yeah, in the comment section. And as you write the title of your favorite movie, try to write them with the first letter of each part of the word in caps, except for the unimportant words. Yeah. Because the unimportant words like prepositions, nouns, yeah, the, a, and, to, for, they don't need caps. Yeah. Well, let me see how we are going here with the spotting time. Um, okay. Well, just reviewing with you guys a little bit, what are some of the categories that we have of proper nouns? Again, quick review. Some proper nouns, some categories of proper nouns are people's names, pets' names, company names, brand names, cities, towns, countries, etc. I'll give you one example of each. Peter Parker, Thor, Daphne, Nike, yeah, Apple, Samsung, um, Florida, Orlando, New York, the United States of America, Canada. Yeah, these are examples of people's names, pets' names, company names, brand names, company names, cities, towns, and countries. They all start with the first letter in caps, in the uppercase letter, with the big letter. Um, well, that's basically it for that part of the lesson. Yeah, it is a lot of grammar. It is some intense grammar. I don't know if you know all of the um, letters of the alphabet. If you don't, I have in my channels a lot of. I have channels on TikTok. I have channels on YouTube, Instagram, and I always post videos where people can have access to uh, lots of vocabulary, the pronunciation of a lot of different words in a lot of different contexts. Also, the spelling of the letters, yeah, in the alphabet. So I recommend you have the spelling of the alphabet. Yeah. Well, a lot of interesting content for you guys in my platforms. Yeah. Um, Now, just to wrap this up a little bit with a checklist. Yeah. After you write a note, after you write an email, after you write an assignment, please check your capitalization or your capitalization. Ask yourself some questions. Did I begin every sentence with a capital? Every time you start a sentence, you have a period, you're starting a new sentence, you must use capital letters. Ask yourself another question. Did I capitalize the pronoun I? Always the pronoun I will be capitalized in English. It doesn't matter if the pronoun I is in the beginning, the middle, or the end of a sentence. It is always capitalized. Yeah. Did I capitalize the word English in other countries, nationalities, and languages? Because countries, nationalities, and languages in English, they are capitalized. Yeah. Ask yourself this other question? Did I capitalize all proper nouns? Yeah. What are the proper nouns again? A little bit of a review here. Proper nouns are um, names, places, company names, and others. Yeah, these are proper nouns. Ask yourself another question. Did I use lowercase letters at the beginning of common nouns within a sentence? If you did that, that's probably it. Yeah, your sentence might be correct. Yeah. Did I capitalize my title or other titles correctly? Did I put all the words, all the letters in capital letters, or did I balance out what I used and how I used them? And the last question, the final question is, did I proofread my work? Yeah, it's always important to proofread it. What's proofread? Proofread, just one word, okay, together. Proof, P-R-O-O-P-R. Sorry, go back. P-R-O-O-F-R-E-A-D. All together. Proofread. Did I proofread my work? Did I go back, read, try to understand what is right, what is wrong, what I can fix, what I can improve? If I did, if I did all these things that I asked in these questions, if you did all these things that I shared here in these questions, there is a very high chance that you'll be writing a beautiful text and everything will go well. Yeah. So, well, that's it for now. Thank you for your time. Yeah. Thank you for your participation. I gotta go, but I'll see you guys in another live with some other interesting content. I'll see. But feel free to share some suggestions here in the comments. If you have any suggestions of topics that you want to know about that I can talk here in my lives, yeah, feel free to share that and I'll be happy to share with you. Cheers. Stay sharp. Take it easy.